Blu Technology's brand new 50-foot water hose reel is here. It's pretty awesome. We helped design it. Come along with us. I'll tell you all about it. So I've been spoiled for quite a while. I'm gonna actually put down a little microfiber here so I don't scratch up my table when I move this around and show you guys. But I jumped right in the deep end when I was just getting into RVing. I'd spoken to some folks who'd done it for a long time, and they said to go with a diesel pusher. And because it was replacing my home and I was able to do that from a budget perspective, I jumped right in and started out with a power hose reel and kind of just thought that's how it should be done. As things progressed and as we started doing more trade shows and as I got more experience, I understood that that's not how most people experience their water hoses. And a lot of folks, travel trailers, my ATC that we use for the trade shows and other stuff, really are just coiling up hoses, putting them in bags or just putting them in storage and trying to figure out where to put them on a regular basis. So when Corbin, the CEO of Blu, and I started talking about different accessories that might be interesting, we started talking about hose reels. And specifically, we talked a little bit about what I didn't love about the hose reel that came in my Integra Coach and how we might be able to improve it. Before we get into a ton of that stuff, let's just go over some basics here. So what really is going on here? So this is a 50-foot retractable hose reel that is designed and built on a frame and a chassis that's been tested for quite a while. Obviously, Blu has customized it heavily, but this is sort of like built or based off of a design that's been used in auto body shops and other things, typically for air supply hoses. Now, nothing related to air supply hoses is in this system, but the design concept is important because the idea being that these are typically mounted on the ceiling and they are designed to help you get access to, but also retract up 50 plus feet of very heavy rubber air hose in a shop. What that really means for us is that the spring system and the gearing system in this allows us to run drinking water safe, high-end water hoses that Blu is known for in a similar style chassis while getting the ability to have a retraction system that we know is going to last for years to come. Now, in my 9+ years of full-timing with Integra coaches, multiple, I've gone through 3 hose reels. And with each one of those, well, there's been a couple different failures, but I've gone through 3 motor failures. And I got to the point where I started to get kind of sick of the whole idea or concept of a 12 volt or 120 volt reel system that required power. It also it's one more thing to break. So by doing something that's fully mechanical, it opens up what kind of installation options you have at your disposal. And, you don't really have to worry about motors and other things breaking or requiring power. One of the things I was most worried about was size. Honestly, I was like, how can we get this thing to be something that would fit in most bays or be something that could be retrofit into motorhomes that hadn't come with an original power reel? I think they've done a really nice job here. I mean, the total width on this, I'm going to say is 8 inches, but I'm giving it a little bit of extra. You know what? Let's say 8.5 as total width, just to give us a little bit of extra room there. I think I'm probably a 1/4 inch proud on that, which is fine. From a height perspective, we're talking about 14.25, 14.25 inches. And then from an overall width perspective, going from kind of the widest spot, we're looking at about 15 inches. And that being the largest number because of the pulley system here, or kind of the cable guide system here, that I'll talk about why that's important in a minute. Now, with everything Blu Tech, it's always so important to talk about water quality and water safety. And really kind of, besides the fact that we're using these drinking water safe hoses, always the stainless steel quick connect solutions that Blu is so well known for. I love these quick connects. Check out our videos on the quick connect system if you haven't seen that already. It makes the entire water experience like night and day easier. And these are quick connects that are built for way more pressure than water, so they just last forever. I love my quick connects. I haven't had a single one fail. I think Andy had one fail, but I think it got like dropped in the dirt 100 times. So they've been just unbelievably reliable for us. And the entire water inlet system here, again, is also stainless steel. And this comes with the quick connect system here. So you can quick connect this and attach it. If you've got a factory garden hose attachment, you don't have to be a plumbing expert to get this thing installed. You can go straight from your existing city fill or a version of that right into this. Now, if you're replacing an existing reel, or if you just want to plumb this in without the quick connects, they're all fully removable. This is a prototype unit. I've got to double check that the ones that we have in stock are identical, but I know that you can definitely plumb these in directly to PEX using either 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch MNT fittings. So, you know, just standard threaded fittings using some Teflon tape, you'll be fine and good to go. But you've got the quick connects all pre-installed, and just such a beautiful heavy duty stainless steel there. You know, I hope folks can see kind of what that looks like. It's such a nice fit and finish there, and just the gaskets in there that allow it to rotate just feels so high end, such good quality. I love it. By utilizing this type of mounting system here, and I love, Corbin, you were right. We talked about doing this in gray, and then ultimately we ended up doing it in blue because of, you know, all of the new generation water filters are going to match this super cool blue color, and it really did come out just beautiful and really cool if you're trying to just kind of get a nice look in a bay where you want everything to just look super high end. But this kit and the roller system that you see here on the output allows me to really mount this in a variety of different ways and applications. I can mount it the way you see it here, just mounting it straight down to the floor. I can mount it straight up to the ceiling by flipping it over, or I can mount it to the back wall. Now make sure you have a good, strong, sturdy wall, or reinforce it with a piece of plywood or whatnot. But I can mount it basically this way as well. And I can also mount it, if I flip it around, this way as well. I wouldn't probably recommend that. I think down would be the right way to go because it would just be great. But the cable, because of the way these pulleys are made, you can have that cable come up and out or whatnot. Now this, I just took the bolt out of this because I was testing it. That's why it's flopping around. But your factory one's not going to flop around. It's going to be secured. And you can basically remove this and put this exactly where you want. So you dial in your exact stopping point of where the reel is going to stop. Really nice touch, just so you've got a good stopper and you're not going to risk this thing flying in and possibly damaging the hose. Now, for folks that who've worked in a shop, you're probably pretty used to these types of reels, and they basically have a sound that is the system locking into place, and there's 3 clicks that basically indicate that the unit is locked. So it can be confusing for folks who've never used one. You're like, how come this isn't retracting? But once I explain how it works, you'll understand it. It's very simple. So if I want to pull this out and have it stop, say like around out here, I'm just going to pull it out until I'm at the desired length I want and wait for one of those 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm stopping, I'm done. That's it. This cable will not go in. Now, if I want to retract it, all I have to do is wait until the clicks are done. I hear the last click, and then I can let the unit go all the way in. So if I go backwards again, click, click, now I have no clicks, and it'll just go right back in. So when you hear that first click, you can stop, and the unit will be locked in place. And when you want to retract it, simply pull it again until you hear no clicks, and then let that go in gently, and it will retract all the way in. So once again, locked, and that will keep doing that all the way for the total length. Go past that, and go ahead and retract. Now, I was a little skeptical at first, I have to be honest, about the stainless steel braided hoses that Blu Tech initially released, but I've been very happy with them. They are some of the easiest hoses to coil up, and they take up so little space. And it's what also allows this hose reel to have so much product on a relatively small reel with a good solid amount of retraction power to make sure that the thing can retract itself up into the vehicle. Now, with that said, I still would recommend that you wear gloves especially if you're going to be running your hands while this is retracting, because it's possible that a metal burr might have popped out if a hose was stepped on repeatedly or something like that. And just, you just want to be safe. Another thing you want to be really mindful of with any hose reel or any power reel is do not operate this and start to try to retract it very far away from the reel. It's a very dangerous way to retract a reel like this. If you accidentally lose control of this hose while it's very far out, you could end up in a situation where it's pulling itself back in really quickly. So what I recommend is that you always operate the reel just like you would a power reel, close to the vehicle. Unhook your hose just like you would with your power reel, and then move over to the coach here, put on a pair of gloves, and then just allow yourself to hand feed that in to retract it all the way. That way, if for some reason it did get away from you for a second, you're at the reel and you can always just grab the hose again right at the entry point. Going over a couple other specs, the thing comes in at around 28, 29 pounds. For that much hose and for such solid construction with stainless steel, I think that's pretty comparable to what you're going to see with other power reels, possibly a little bit lighter, so that's a nice touch. This guy right here is actually going in my dad's Holiday Rambler. He's got a 2006 Holiday Rambler, and he's been lugging hoses and hates it. So we're going to be putting in a nice power reel for him. I think he's going to love this, and I suspect I'm going to end up with one fairly soon, as soon as I end up with my 4th electric power reel failure, which I'm sure is coming, especially now that I've seen this. But it's a great power reel that is not requiring power, so I love it. It's a great unit. This, along with just about everything at mobilemusthaves.com, is available for membership discounts. So you get a whole bunch of stuff. Now, this may be considered an oversized or overweight item, so you might not get the free 2-day shipping. I have to check, or just check the listing page, it'll say it there. But you're definitely gonna get the discount off of the purchase. You're gonna get access to the Mobile Internet Resource Center, where we talk about all things mobile internet, and you get access to discounts on the rest of the entire Blu Tech line with your membership. So make sure you check that out at memberships.mobilemusthaves.com. It's a great program. It helps support us, and it'll save you a few bucks as well. If you have any questions about this or anything at mobilemusthaves.com, you can hop over to mobilemusthaves.com and start up a chat in the bottom right-hand corner. You can also schedule a consultation with our experts at talk.mobilemusthaves.com, and you'll schedule a mutually agreed time with an expert to talk about anything available at mobilemusthaves.com. You can also email us at info@mobilemusthaves.com, and as always, you can just call us. Our phone number is on the top of our webpage. We just like to schedule consultations because we don't want folks waiting on hold. But we're there if you need us during business hours. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the road.